Welcome to Channel 18 News. I'm Jim Rogers. 6 pleas were made Wednesday morning at 8th Judicial District Court, according to the District Attorney's Office. Court was held in the courtroom at the Hopkins County Jail. Pleas included Shane Lappin, probation for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That parole was revoked. He was sentenced to 7 months state jail. Jeremy Sharp pled to 12 months state jail for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than a gram. Taylor Knaster pled to 6 months state jail for possession of a controlled substance less than 1 gram. Francisco Velasco was committed to county jail for 30 days as a sanction for not paying his probation fees. And Brittany Bone pled to 3 years, Texas Department of Criminal Justice, for delivery controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams. Jose Soto Rios pled to 180 days county jail for possession controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. More sentencing was done Wednesday afternoon. We'll report that later. County Clerk Debbie Shirley stated that no problems are being found in the electronic voting process locally. All votes after Friday will be cast electronically. In November 2015, Hopkins County qualified to allow voters to cast ballots at any polling place in the county. That mandated that votes would only be cast electronically. Only ballot by mail are the exception. Friday is the last day for election officials to receive a ballot by mail or a paper ballot. Paper ballots may be mailed, faxed, or emailed. Paper ballots cannot be received over the counter at the clerk's office. Shirley reminds those voting electronically to go all the way to the end of the ballot to the summary page to assure their vote has been recorded properly. She said, if you have any questions, do not push the red button. Ask a worker to assist if there is a problem. Early voting continues through the end of next week. This weekend, early voting will take place from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Saturday, and on Sunday, one may vote early 1 p.m. until 6 p.m. Sample ballots are found on the Hopkins County website. Parking is in the Jefferson Street parking lot.
There is a new veterans event this year, a thank you barbecue cook-off. Music by Jack Phillips and auctions are also included. Proceeds to benefit wounded warriors. The Salute the Veterans cook-off is organized by Chris Wilburn and Zach Lloyd out of a sincere wish to honor local veterans.
Well, it started as a barbecue event that I just concocted. I wanted to do something, a local barbecue event, and Zach works with me at Grocery Supply, and I got a hold of Zach because I knew he had done several fundraisers in the area, and I asked him if it was something that he'd be interested in doing with me, and we were both pretty passionate about our veterans, and we thought we would like all the proceeds to benefit veterans in some way, shape, form, or fashion, and a lot of red tape there. So we decided this year's beneficiary would be Wounded Warrior Project, and so all the proceeds from this year's event are to benefit Wounded Warrior Project. Okay. And it's basically just going to be a barbecue competition. Teams will come out and compete. After the judging, the public, they're able to buy a meal ticket, $10.
Okay.
All you can eat barbecue, and
wow,
until you can't stand no more or the food is gone.
Well, let me ask then, and maybe Zach knows this part, about the cooking teams. Do you have some barbecue cooking teams?
Yes, ma'am. So far we've got 10 that are already pre-registered with us. We're going to do it's 3 meats is what we're cooking. We're cooking 2 briskets, 3 racks of ribs, and 10 pounds of chicken, any way you want to cook the chicken.
Wow.
And mandatory 1 side, since we are going to be feeding the public. And, so far, we'll take cook teams up until, I think, November the 4th is the deadline on that.
Okay.
We've also got a silent auction and a live auction. People in the community have been donating auction items to us as well. And we're going to take those up until the 9th of November, the Wednesday before the event, so we can have time to organize that stuff and get it prepared.
Okay, so It is a fee to enter as a cooking team?
Yes, ma'am. The entry fee for the cook teams are $50, and they must bring their meat in on ice. That way, it's meets health code,
Okay.
And then they're going to have a cook's choice Friday night, and that's just for the cook teams to compete against each other, kind of like everybody cooks at the stew contest, the night before cooks dinner. So it's going to give the cook teams a little competition before the actual barbecue on Saturday.
A little camaraderie amongst.
Sure.
But
Okay, sounds like a wonderful and fun event. The barbecue cook-off benefiting the Wounded Warrior Project, and the event is called Salute the Veterans, which was your whole idea at first, and then you sort of fleshed out how you intended to salute them. November 11th and 12th, which is a Friday, Saturday, is that right?
Friday and Saturday.
And of course, Friday is Veterans Day. There's other events taking place earlier in the day on Veterans Day, but it opens the way for a great weekend to do that. And will there be other things besides cooking going on?
Most definitely. We have a horseshoe tournament going on that day. It's a doubles tournament. You do not have to have a partner to compete. Show up, enter. The horseshoe tournament begins at 9. They're registering at 8 o'clock. So you have from 8 to 9 to register. And if that's not enough time, don't feel like you're not going to get registered.
So, and this is morning?
This is Saturday morning. We've got bounce houses for kids. The National Guard is supposed to be there with things like Humvees and different things for people to interact with. The Civil Air Patrol, the local Civil Air Patrol, they're doing a colors presentation early that morning. Something is neat to see if you haven't ever seen that. They do a good job. Silent auction, live auction. There'll be things out there all day long for people to enjoy. Live music.
Okay. Should they bring the kids?
Oh yes, most definitely.
The more the merrier. Okay. And also something that I forgot to mention about the barbecue event, all disabled veterans and active duty, they eat free because we're honoring them for that. That's what we have. And we also have a give back for veterans only, so they can get something as well. We've got 30 Arctic tumblers. I think we're putting 27 in the deal, and they're going to have our Hopkins County logo on them, I believe, from One Stop Sign Shop. But the veterans are going to have a chance to win something themselves, and so that's important to us too.
Okay. Well, I see you're wearing Hopkins County Salute the Veterans T-shirt.
Yes.
There, Chris, and it seemed like you have a passion for this. Tell me about that.
And we'll never know the sacrifices these men and women gave up for you and me. These guys aren't going to speak of it. You're never going to know the hardships that they went through. And just for us to be able to say thank you for everything you've done for you and me, for us to be able to sit right here and talk with all of you, I mean, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Zach, do you have sort of similar feelings?
Yes, ma'am. The veterans, active duty and retired and deceased veterans, they've all gave so much and get so little in return. From all kinds of walks of life. You don't know who. We're just doing this because we want to, but we don't know who we may touch to help somebody else. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than our community. I mean, veterans are all over the world, so we're out here to do our part.
Okay. And of course, there are prescribed memorials that take place on Veterans Day at 11 a.m. And local veterans always expect that, but this is sort of an unexpected surprise and a lot of fun included in it. I feel like with the name Wilburn, Chris, that you are probably a pretty good cook. Does that run in your family?
Some of us cook. I'm not going to say that we're all good cooks, but everybody could be better, I guess.
Well, we associate the name Wilburn with that. What about you, Zach?
Yes, ma'am. I love to cook, and we cooked in the hot August nights, and we took third in the ribs. So we try to do our best, but this isn't about us. We're going to run this event, so we're not going to be able to cook and compete, but we're going to do the best we can to make it a fun time, and we're looking forward to next year as well to keep it going on annually. So.
Well, did you have a site at the stew contest?
Yeah, I actually cooked for Grocery Supply.
Okay.
We cooked chicken for Grocery Supply.
Okay.
I cooked with my buddy Corey Wilhite for his wife's company. She works for Roden Fields as a consultant of some sort. So we cooked for them. They were our sponsor.
Okay. Well, and I know you have some sponsors that you wanted to thank.
Yes, most definitely. And let me say thank you to every one of you who stepped up to the plate and put your faith in us. A lot of you didn't know us, and as a first-year event, it's so hard to do things like this, and without every single one of these sponsors, this thing wouldn't have happened. It would not have happened. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to every one of you who put the faith in us to do this. So I'll let Zach, if you want to mention some of them.
Well, I appreciate, first of all, KSST and y'all for giving us this opportunity to reach people that are not in our ordinary group. Some people don't do Facebook or social media, so you give us another avenue to reach more people, and we appreciate y'all for today and for everything y'all have done. But I'd also like to thank our other sponsors, Buckley Trucking, Sulphur Springs Dodge, Jones Portable Buildings and Custom Structures, Edwards Used Cars, Sulphur Springs, Brandy's Fitness Center, the Potato House, Fireside Catering, and the Meat Market La Victoria up there, and Grocery Supply, and also Music Mountain Water, One Stop Sign Shop, the Wilburn family, Atwood's Country Boy Cafe, Endless T-Shirts, who made our T-shirts for our event, and Moolah Transport and Lone Star Milk Producers.
Okay. And what about judges?
Judges. We wanted people to judge this who knew what good barbecue really was, and who else knows good barbecue than people who do it for a living? So we talked to Big Smiths, Bodacious, Fat Boys Barbecue, Sharon's Barbecue, and we presented them with this idea as judges, and they do it for a living. Why not them to actually judge it? So they all got on board, every one of them. We even have the owner of the Yanis Cafe. She's going to be a fifth judge for us. So we thought that would be a unique opportunity. Get together all of the local barbecue businesses and get them to judge it for us.
Sounds like a dandy idea to me, too. And this is going to be at the Civic Center, out on the grounds, correct?
Correct, where the stew cook-off used to be.
Okay, out
in
front.
Creek. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it sounds awfully fun. Kids under 5, free. Adults, $10. Kids under 11, $5. And again, who else gets in free?
The disabled vets and the active duty vets get in free as well.
Okay. And I want you to tell me a little bit more about Wounded Warrior. We have about 2.5 minutes left to talk.
Wounded Warrior, they pretty much help disabled veterans, and they help post 9/11 veterans through numerous different, I think it said 20 different free programs. They have helped 100,000 soldiers and their families through 20 different free programs. They have employed 10,000 soldiers, and this is since they have started. And just to read what it says here on the back, it says, there's never any fees or dues for Wounded Warriors. The dues that they paid were on the battlefield. They rely on donations and money from people like me, Zach, all of you out there who donate, and it's basically just it's a great charity to give to. If you haven't ever, most people out there have heard of Wounded Warrior, but a lot of people don't have.
They don't understand the depths that they go to help the veterans.
And
I don't think.
And a lot of people didn't really like the fact that it was just post 9/11, but I can kind of see where that comes from, because if I've got $5 to help somebody, do I want to give them all the $5, or do I want to give 50 people 10 cents? You know.
Specified, correct.
So it was a way that they thought that they could help people out more if they just singled out that specific group.
And that is what the proceeds of Salute the Veterans Barbecue Cook-Off will benefit Wounded Warrior. And those who come can all be judges in a way when you're eating the barbecue with the People's Choice Award.
That's right.
And I really like the way that you have organized your first ever event. Looking forward to it on starting Friday night, November 11th, and going into Saturday, November 12th.
Can I give one more shout out? I left a few things off earlier. Nortex Tractor came in on to help us out sponsor last week. They're going to bring a couple of ATVs for the event to make it easier to get around, and also Smoke Eaters Barbecue, Silver Springs Floral, Dana's Florist, Flower Land, Everything Unique, and Sweet and Salty, and Creations by Joyce. They've also donated silent auction items, and I'd like to thank them as well.
Okay, thank you both for coming in. We will see you at the Civic Center November 11th.
Look forward to seeing you out there. Y'all come get some barbecue.
Thank you.
Here's Don Julian with sports.
The Wildcats football team has an important district game at Greenville on Friday night. Wildcats football coach Greg Owens talked about his Wildcats and the Lions at his weekly media gathering on Wednesday morning.
Well, I ripped them pretty good yesterday. You know, I didn't think Monday and Tuesday. I mean, I think they're still dragging a little bit. Coaches were dragging a little bit from Mount Pleasant, but I just thought there were times yesterday we were really silly and weren't focused enough and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of lit into them a little bit, and it's time to get ready and get prepared and not be jacking around all the time. So that's kind of where we're at. So preparation is not where I'd like to see it right at this point after a Tuesday workout, but we'll get into that Wednesday. Hopefully our attitudes are better and we're ready to go, and so we'll just kind of see how today goes. But it's not a complicated scheme we're going to be facing this week. It's just going to come down kind of a broken record of what I said last week. I mean, it's really defensively is tackling. You know, is basically getting lined up and tackle. I mean, that's the bottom line. Is where we're at there. Going back to Mount Pleasant week, you know, we talked about, and I might have talked on your show Saturday about how we were really evenly matched. If you base it on, it's hard to do that when you base it on somebody else, but the T-High game, how we both played T-High, and it turned in our ball game right there. You got a field goal to determines the ball game. So, you know, either way, and I mean, I think we're playing pretty good right now. We really are, you know, playing pretty well. It's just everything is a struggle for us right now. It seems like we've got to almost be perfect on everything. I mean, offensively, Coach Young and staff put together a 10-play, a 14-play, and a 17-play drive. And, you know, for that to happen, you got to be doing things right. Mm-hmm. I think we had 19 third downs, and either we converted 19 or had 19. I can't remember. But, you know, to do that, continue to move down the field, I mean, we're getting chunks of 3 and 5 yards. You know, so we're not having the explosive plays. We're really missing that from our offense right now. And we struggled down inside the 5, which put us in a bind. So, you know, it had to overcome some penalties in some areas and stuff like that to put us in a bind. So, you know, but we're getting after defensively, settled down second half too. And I don't know, I think we only gave up a field goal in the second half the other night, and that was the winning one. So, you know, there's some good stuff happening. It's just, you know, it's so close to kind of get that win. So that one really stung last week. We really felt like, you know, we had a chance to go win that ball game. And so, anyway, it brings us to Greenville, where we're right now. Our backs are against the wall. and we got to play. We got to win out. We went out. We're in the playoffs. So that's the deal. So that's where probably got under my skin a little bit yesterday when we're not taking it very serious and how important it is. And here we go. And our maturity level's got to be a little better and a little more focus has got to be better. So and the kids understand what's at stake. To get that done. So, it's a good Greenville team. They've got some kids that can hurt you offensively with their speed, getting outside, and that's all. We're always nervous about the speed of everybody we're playing. And the other thing that gives us a problem, they got a young man inside, number 77. I have to look at his name again. Lyons. He's like a little baby Warren Sapp. He's 270, 6'2", he hops around. When he decides to go, I haven't seen anybody in our district block him yet when he decides to go. Yeah. And so that is a challenge for us. We're very aware of that, especially a lot of inside stuff we like to run with him. So he creates a few problems for us. And, the young man, you mentioned the other day, the young man we had to defend last year is Hale. Well, this is his brother, who's now number 26 for them. He's also got some speed. Not quite the runner his brother was, the physicality part of it. And they're not in the same system. They're a little more spread out this year. They're a lot like us. They're in 2x2. They're getting some little H-back look in the backfield. We can call it a B-back now. And just run some power game with those things. So they're kind of hitting you all over the place. Just traditional gun, zone read. Those things, and just trying to get their athletes like we are, get them in space, and hopefully you win some battles and get some one-on-one stuff. And you got a sophomore kid at quarterback, so they're not throwing it a ton right now. Yeah. They're really using all those formations and stuff just to kind of mask, I guess, their running game somewhat and try to get some matchups and get on the edge. So we got to be focused and tuned in and not be blowing coverages and that kind of stuff on the defense side and tackle extremely well. Outside linebackers and safety and inside backers have got to be big. And obviously all the time D-line's got to come off and try to create some mismatches inside.
Tristan says they lead the world in motion. Said they put everybody in motion.
Oh, it is.
Direction.
It is, and then they're flying everywhere. So those kind of things, formations, that kind of stuff, makes you simplify what you're doing too, and make it really easy. But we feel like we're moving and doing some things that'll give us an advantage, but it does. We want to make sure the kids understand what they've got. So we've started day one on Monday. Brought them in and had a meeting on the turf. Came inside, watched video, went through the videos, made the kids call out what the motions were, so that they understand what we've got. So there's no confusion on what we're doing. If we're in zone, if we're in man, and how we're making our adjustments.
You mentioned that Greenville, limited amount of throwing, but I can't imagine that they don't throw better than Mount Pleasant. They were very, very challenged throwing football. Yeah,
they do. He can throw it around. He can throw it a little bit. They just choose not to as much because all the motion stuff they want to do. To them, they do a lot of short, quick passing game. Little quick bubbles, little quick screens, outside fast screens we call them. So very similar to what a lot of stuff that we do. Very, very similar offense, to be honest with you. Same looking plays and just trying to get the ball. Just let that young man get some confidence. And because I think they're a little concerned about their pass protection maybe a little bit. So they're not doing a bunch of 5-steps. So it's all quick game stuff. Catch the ball, get rid of it.
On defense, our coach has been a former, I guess he was for Sudbury, was his defensive coordinator. Yeah. I think Sudbury hired him 3 times, 3 different schools. Big defensive guy. So I was shocked to find out Greenville, number 2 in the district in yards allowed. They have a very, very good defense.
Yeah, they're playing well up front. And again, the young man inside, 77, is the guy that kind of makes some of that go. They do a good job on the back end of it. Just keeping everything in front of you and doing a great job of tackling. He's going to base out an even front, a 4-2-5 look. But there'll be 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 DBs that they'll adjust. So, which that's not common. We see that a bunch. That'll be the last 2 weeks. That's the same thing Hallsville's running. So we've seen that a bunch. So we understand what we're getting into with those things and how to attack it. And again, it's about the one-on-one fundamentals at this point in the year, just execution.
You know anything about Darren Duke? Have you met him or anything?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've known him. I guess I've known him the first time he was at Greenville. He went and he got a head coaching job in the Metroplex, and I'm not sure where he bounced around then, but he's been back.
Conrad
Conrad?
in Dallas.
Yeah, and so he's been around, and he's been, I don't know, back with Coach Sudbury, I don't know, 3 or 4 years maybe. Coach said, I don't know if he came back the first. I don't think he was there first year. Said came back, but he's been back there for at least 3 or 4 right now. He understands Greenville, coached there before, understand those kiddos and how to get them going, how to get them out playing.
The Lady Cats volleyball team nailed down second place in district with a 3-0 win on the road at Marshall Tuesday night. Lady Cats finished 9-3 in district play. Their season record right now is 30-10. A warm-up game and by-district playoffs are next, and I talked with Lady Cats volleyball coach Justin Manis.
We played really well. I was impressed. The girls took what was given to them and they used it, and we really tried to focus on some things we'll need to do in the playoffs, and so we did. We sold up second.
Big game for Kaylee Jefferson on the net.
Man, yeah, I think she had 14 kills.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually a big game for all our hitters. I mean, we were able to really run our offense. The passes were really good, and our serves were really, really good. And so we just kind of kept Marshall on their heels, and we had control of the match the entire time.
Sharita Hill sort of started out as kind of a good, important member of the team, but now, she's one of the best you've got.
She can get hot, and when she has confidence and we're setting her high enough, she can hit over a block and she can score a lot, and so we're going to need her to do a lot of that in playoffs for sure.
Of course, Autumn and Mika.
And that's what's important. You just can't be a one-dimensional team. We have 4 or 5 people that can hit the ball, and so we can move it around, and we're not just setting Kaylee all the time, because if we did that, teams could set up their defense accordingly. We kind of have them guessing.
Now you have a warm-up game you'll be playing on Friday.
Yeah, we have a warm-up game against Rains at 5 o'clock, which I think will be an awesome warm-up game for us, and it's convenient, it's close, and I think Rains will show us a lot of what we need to work on, because they're going to be similar to what we're going to see in Forney.
Have you got everything squared away for your playoff game?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be next Tuesday at Edgewood High School, 7 p.m. start.
Oh, okay. Very good. And again, it's been a long time since we played Forney. They kind of had their way with us early in the season, but that was a long time ago.
It was, and we've grown a lot since then, and we've played a lot of volleyball between then and now. So we'll just have to work on what we need to work on, and we'll see what happens.
And I believe you had said that you thought maybe one of their good players had some.
Yeah, I know they've had problems. She been out most of district, and whether or not she's back, I don't know. Well, we're going to find that out before we play them Tuesday. But we have some things to focus on. She was definitely one of their bigger offensive threats, and we'll have to look at trying to put a stop to her if she's in the match.
Exciting time, isn't
it? It is, and it goes fast. So it's just kind of fast and furious right now, but we're excited we're in the playoffs and finishing second. I'm glad we sewed that up, and if we can get past the first round, we might be able to roll a little ways.
Very good. The
Cumbie Lady Trojans volleyball team took a hard-fought 3-2 win at home against Fruitvale Tuesday night. Score was 25-17, 21-25, 25-18, 21-25, and 17-15. Cumbie's leading servers were Paige Seeley with 15 points and J.C. Weatherby with 13 points. Ashley Haygood led the Lady Trojans in kills with 11, and Weatherby had 9. Sydney Spillers led Cumbie in digs with 47. Weatherby also led the team in blocks with 3. Cumbie ends district play with an 8-2 record. Their season mark is 14-14. And the Lady Trojans will be meeting Maud in a by-district playoff match next Tuesday night at 6 in Mount Vernon.
Thanks for watching Channel 18 News. Have a great evening.
We got to win out, and to me, the most logical ones are still for fight for those 2 spots are us and Mount Pleasant and Hallsville. And it just depends on which way you want to spin it, what happens and when. So, after this weekend, we'll definitely know here's what's got to happen for the last weekend, and it cuts down the choices pretty quickly after this weekend to see where we're at. So, but for us, we got it figured. We win, we're in. Bottom line, if we win this weekend, it comes down to us and Hallsville for the last one. And what may or may not play out. Either way, even if Hallsville wins this week and we win, it still comes down to our game. The winner is in, because it'll be a head-to-head deal then, because our records would be tied.
What's the keys this week, Greg? Like always says, what's the keys?
Take care of the football. And we got to put points on the board offensively. Again, we're doing a good job of holding on to the ball, maintaining, doing those things, sustaining drives, that kind of stuff. We did a great job last week of not having the 3 and outs, those things. But and for the most part, we had 1 turnover. It was costly, but we had 1. I don't think they scored on that, to be honest with you. And I think back about it, but the big deal is we got to put points on the board. We got to get in. We get inside the red zone. We got to score. So that's been an emphasis for us to make this week, to make sure we get that done. And defensively, I just mentioned those a while ago. Got to tackle. Got to get off blocks. Got to tackle. We got to play with energy on defense. We do that. That chance to be pretty good. We come out flat. It's a little bit of a struggle.